Welcome, everybody, to episode 11 of the Pipeline Talk podcast. After a few weeks, we are back, waiting until kind of this lull of playoff approaching baseball. The minor league season, I believe, officially ended today. So, we are going to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers in the minor leagues, those that are in the major leagues, and kind of a little overview on their season. Some doing better than others, some having not the best of years, but excited to talk to you guys today about the Volunteers. And I think we're going to start with the 2025 draftees. So starting at the top Tennessee Volunteer drafted, unfortunately, to the St. Louis Cardinals. So going to give me nightmares for years. But Paul, kick it off with some Liam Doyle action.
I will. I'll preface with of the eight guys drafted, five did play. We're going to talk about those guys. The three that did not play, all pitchers, Marcus Phillips, AJ Russell, and Nate Snead. They'll get their seasons going next year. It's not uncommon to kind of let these guys just rest up after the season. And kind of the same deal with Doyle, although he did get two starts in, just quick little appearances, one in high A, one in double A. Only pitched 3 2/3 innings, 2.45 ERA, just gave up one home run in his first start to Alfred Duno, I believe, is a pretty good prospect. Six strikeouts over that time. I mean, the stuff looked good. We knew it would be. Double A is right about where he belongs. Only got one start there for about one inning. They just want to get a look at him. Next year is really going to when he kicks it into high gear. I think we'll see where the Cardinals are competitively next year. I mean, if they're making a push late in the year, I wouldn't be surprised to see him starting for them next year. Maybe bullpen work. I don't know if you want to risk that, but I mean, he's got the potential to move fast, and we really can't
This
draw almost any conclusions from about 4 innings of work. But he's still pumping. He's getting strikeouts. Gave up a long ball. That happens. He just tends to give up some of those, gives up some hard hits, but oh, he's looking pretty good. And let's bounce it to you, Phil. Talk some Gavin Keelan for us.
Yeah, Gavin Keelan, he's been playing a little bit slow, just kind of like getting his feet under him still a little bit, which I mean, you kind of expect guys like that just kind of figuring it out at this new level. It's quite a big jump. I mean, people don't really expect expect the jump to be so big sometimes because the level of play in college just seems so high. But I mean, it takes a lot to be successful at any level. So I think he should be okay. I mean, he was a very consistent hitter. I think he just needs some time to get comfortable. Um, so I mean, like I said, he's struggled a little bit. Hasn't really hit much really at all. He just played 10 games. I mean, kind of the theme for a lot of these guys just drafted, if they got any playing time at all, it's kind of just get their toes wet a little bit. Um, so that next year they can kind of just like jump right into it and feel a little more comfortable, know who their teammates are, that kind of stuff, know their coaches, know their routine, all that kind of stuff. So I think that regardless, it's just good to see those guys get some reps in there, which is kind of like the name of the game, I guess. But Nick, you want to throw out some Andrew Fischer lore?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Tennessee Volunteers either get sent to the NL Central or to the Colorado Rockies. So with Andrew Fisher, Milwaukee Brewer, high A, kind of where we thought he was kind of going to sit. I think double A is definitely achievable. Obviously, they have Blake Burke there. Andrew Fisher's gotten a little run at third base. At least they're going to try that. I think long term that makes sense. At least try it now, try it early. If he can't do it, then you got at least a good bat that is going to be first base DH. I know we'll talk a little bit more about Blake Burke later, but Andrew Fisher's put together a pretty good season. Like Phil said, it's going to be all small sample sizes, but in 19 games, OPS at 848, striking out 22 times to 11 walks, probably a little bit higher on the strikeout side, but he's had a good eye at the plate. You'd like to see the walks go. Only one home run in 87 plate appearances, which again you'd probably hope or at least want to expect or see a little bit more power, but has a few doubles. It's just an interesting profile. I think the Brewers obviously loved the bat and the position was going to come after when Andrew Fisher initially got to Tennessee, I know he was going to play third base. That's what they really wanted him to do. And then with the Alberto Osuna stuff and different players not being able to sit there, they essentially lost two first basemen that first week. But I think Andrew Fischer, if he can play third base, it's going to be huge for the Brewers, like going forward. But he's had a pretty good season. I think he probably starts at Double A or at least gets there fast next year. But continuing down the list, I know we're just doing some quick hitters. A couple of the guys we talked about that are not pitching, and I don't want to skip over Dean Curley, but he's not had the best of season and kind of unfortunately continued his poor finish to the season with Cleveland's single A team.
Yeah, Curly was always just kind of be going to be more of a project than any other Vol in this class. I felt like he kind of knew there was some swing changes that maybe needed to be made. He was in his head, it seemed like, by the end of the season with the Vols. And it's kind of what we saw in 9 games at A-ball. Again, such a small sample size. Don't draw any conclusions. But wasn't great. 67 WRC plus, a 31% K rate. I see that.
Had to,
31%
had
K
to.
rate. I mean, was a little lower on Curly than most, and I think by the end of the year, everyone kind of got to that point because they were sick of him throwing the ball away and whatnot. But I still think there's some really interesting potential in there. I think he's got to stay at low A next season. I wouldn't hate to see him stay the whole season down there, or high A at least. But I mean, he's really a guy they need to be patient with. I mean, it's going to be rough. There's going to be some rough patches. He needs to work on his defense. He needs to cut down on the swing and miss. I believe in him. I mean, it wasn't great what we saw to start 2025 in pro ball, but plenty of time. Nothing to worry about yet.
Yeah, I mean, and he's athletic, so he'll
Yeah.
at the very least be able to learn and kind of navigate the system and be able to try to pick up some new tricks and kind of. I mean, we saw the potential
Mm.
in that 2024 season, so you never know.
I also find it kind of interesting. Cleveland seems to be using him not at second base, but rather he had 7 games with 5 starts at short and then 2 starts at third. So maybe kind of getting him back to that left side of the infield might help him a little bit. Obviously, it's a further throw, but he just, I don't know, he never really seemed comfortable at second base. That's unfortunately and weirdly where a lot of the errors kind of happened. So maybe he just, I don't know, didn't like the
I think it was a
fit,
mental
likes being on
block
the other
thing.
side better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his
Mhm.
arm's strong enough. I think third
Definitely.
makes the most sense. Second is kind of a waste of an arm, and he's not the rangiest ever. I mean,
Yeah.
he's all right. So I think if he can stick at short, that'd be great. That's great for his value, great for the Guardians. I think third makes the most sense long term, and that's really where the bat needs to pick it up. Like, there's not a lot of
Yeah,
glove only third baseman out there. Yeah.
I'll take this last one here in this class, Phil, so that you can talk about Christian more. But Tanner Franklin, another St. Louis Cardinal, big arm, power arm, and I think we talked about it during the draft episode too. Would a team want a Tanner Franklin type to see if they could stretch him out and have him start games?
Mhm.
He's only had 6 innings, but 3 starts. So whether they like him as the opener kind of role that we've been seeing, or if they're going to see like, hey, we're going to throw him out there. If he can give us 3 innings, if he can give us 4 innings, that's awesome. And kind of just see how long the fastball can sit in triple digits, see how well that slider can play. We know he has power stuff. Uh, Paul is here 13.5 Ks per nine, so he's getting swings and misses. He's getting strikeouts. The ERA of a 1.5. Obviously, again, small sample size, but just an elite arm. Him and Nate Snead both, and I know Nate Snead had some kind of command issues, was still throwing hard, but maybe not the best strikes or had some walk issues and then would give up the big hit. But Tanner Franklin was an interesting one for me because he only had 1 year at Tennessee, had some high leverage spots, and I think that Frank Anderson really liked him and wanted to keep giving him opportunities. So we'll see what the St. Louis Cardinals do. If they have Liam Doyle and Tanner Franklin in the same rotation at Double A next year, I would not be surprised. Like just throw it out there, see how long they can go. Maybe it's a piggyback situation with someone else, but Tanner Franklin, good value in the fourth round, I believe that they're fourth or
Mhm.
fifth round that they got him. I again, they're just torturing me with all these ten. I'm gonna be seeing orange, and every time I turn on a Cubs game. But
And they won't
Phil,
do they won't even throw you a free agent signing. They won't do
no,
nothing for or a draft post
maybe the
draft
Cubs
signing.
will
They won't give you
maybe the Cubs
anything.
will trade for Jordan Beck or something.
Maybe we'll get to him later.
Bad.
Yeah, Franklin, I don't know if it was just I assume the intention is to get him t attempting to start. I assume they didn't just put him out in there in the first inning just cause. Uh, and I like that. I think of Franklin and Snead kind of to the untrained eye. I don't want to say that, but like they both seem very similar, just hard throwing relievers. Both had their command issues. You could see the strikeout stuff though. But with Franklin, it just seemed like I could see at least the potential to start a little more. Just he could kind of maintain the velocity. He wasn't as bad about the walks, I felt like. Better strikeout stuff. So I mean, I'm really
Yeah, he had
excited to
good.
see. I mean, fourth round, if you can turn him into a back end starter, I mean, it's surely seems like ace stuff. I mean, that's it seems like how do they find it when Tarek Skubal goes in the ninth round? How do they find these guys, or how do they do that? Well, he threw hard and you figured it out from there. You forget about the risk, and it's a fourth rounder anyway if it doesn't work out. So I'm excited for him. Yeah, I mean to get Doyle and Franklin going every other day, get them in the majors soon, watch them dominate the Cubbies. I mean, it'll be great. Okay, we want to talk some 2024
He'll
draftees.
take it away with yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, have some fun with this one. I mean, Christian Moore, I got the opportunity to watch him play in Double A uh, against the Smokies a couple of times, and that was really cool. I mean, just watching a guy like that come back and hit his first Double A home run of the year back in Knoxville is just one of those kind of just like full circle moments. It's cool, but obviously he's up in the majors relatively quickly this year, which was also really cool to see. He got off to that amazing start. The stats aren't fantastic this year. He's hitting just under 200. OPS it's 678, which is not, I mean, not terrible for your first like run in the majors. He's slugging pretty well, 390. He's got 7 home runs. So I mean he's doing all right. He had a little bit of injury troubles for a couple of weeks, kind of sidelined him a little bit. Um, but I mean, it's just another one of those things where it just takes some time to get comfortable in that new environment. I mean, obviously that hot start, you wish he could just like kind of take off and run with it and be AL Rookie of the Year, but it doesn't always work out that way. So I think that obviously he's shown that he can uh, has the potential to be an all star at the major league level. It's just a matter of making those adjustments as the season goes on, at bat to at bat, game to game, season to season, all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes, especially with the rookies, it's one of those things where they don't know the scouting report yet. The pitchers don't know the scouting report yet, so they're just gonna kind of see what works and what doesn't. And he was able to get off to the hot start. Maybe they've made an adjustment against him now, find him missing barrels a little bit, but I mean, he's still with a slugging percentage of 390. It seems like he's still hitting the ball pretty hard when he does make contact. So it's been it's been fun to watch him play, to be honest. But very very excited to see a young guy like that play pretty well.
yeah, and it's still a small sample size for September, but he's got a 178 WRC plus. He's got a homer. I mean, you can kind of see, the SEMO we know, the SEMO we got to watch for 3 years. Just looking at the baseball savant, get a kind of a look at those advanced numbers. Does not chase a lot, draws a lot of walks. He's got better sprint speed than I thought. I really wasn't expecting 75th percentile. And we knew he wasn't a bad athlete, but it's all right. The defense, not great, -3 outs above average. It's just been a lot of whiffs for him. And that's kind of concerning just because he doesn't chase. So he's seeing it well enough. He's just not really putting bat on ball. He's got a 34.5% whiff rate. He's hitting the ball not that hard when he gets it. I mean, we know he can rip the ball, but doesn't qualify yet for the percentile rankings for average exit velo, but right around 88, which is not great. It's not the worst. And he's 22 years old, obviously. So, I mean, nothing to be that worried about yet. Just kind of interesting. 32% K rate in the majors this year. Uh, you know, and I was thinking about this part. SEMO has played only competitive baseball, basically, at Tennessee. I mean, this is a guy that's used to winning. He wins a lot. And now he comes to Anaheim, where it's kind of just flip a coin anywhere between like 70 and 82 wins every year. So that who knows if that's something he's adjusting to? I mean, he's a competitor. I'm sure he is a leader in that clubhouse. That's just kind of guy he is. So I expect big things year two. I'm excited for him.
Oh yeah, I think so as well. Just big league curveballs and breaking balls are a little bit more disgusting than
Yeah, they're
double A.
different than in college. They're different.
Just taking some time to get into the groove. But
Yeah,
so I
Nick, you
want
want
to
to
take
give us
over
some
Blake
Blake
Burke.
Burke talk, Nick?
Yeah. Got to see actually. I went to a Smokies game when he had just gotten called up to Double A, hit a homer. I know he did a lot of damage this year uh, there, and I think that that's a good spot. They say a lot of time Double A is pretty comparable to like SEC, and he's kind of taken off right from there. 16 homers in 132 games, so it's primarily played in Double A this season. But I I think it's just like he's starting to get a little more comfortable. They showed a couple early on. His numbers weren't great, and it was maybe him getting a little like a time to adjust and swinging and missing a lot, which he did his sophomore year, and then had the great junior year before he got drafted. So took some time to adjust, but right now he's just playing really good
Mhm.
baseball, I think, and he's moving quick. The Milwaukee Brewers kind of like these guys that move quick through the system, don't have to be like the biggest name in terms of like prospect value, but I mean, he's a former first round pick from a big school, won a national championship. He's playing, I believe, primarily first base. They might be trying to see if he can hang out in one of the corner outfield spots. But his strikeout to walk is not that crazy. 94 strikeouts to 49 walks. So he's definitely taking his walks. Or that looks like it was maybe in some high A, but I, I just like the season he's having. He has 11 double A home runs in 37 games. 956 OPS in Biloxi, and I don't know. I think he's a high mover. I think he could has a chance to. He's probably going to be in Major League spring training next year, and has a chance maybe to steal a roster spot from one of these guys. I don't know, probably too
That'd be
early,
pretty
but
great if you crack a roster spot. I don't
End of
know.
the
I'm
month.
trying to think about their first base DH situation. I know they have Hoskins, who I believe has an opt out.
yeah,
I don't know if he's been good enough. I think it's a player option. I don't know if he's been good enough where he's going to get 18 mil again or whatever he's asking. DH, I mean, the Brewers kind of just, they're like the
Andrew
Rays.
Vaughn,
They're the
yeah,
NL Rays. They're going to find guys and they're going to come in there and have a 120 WRC plus and play excellent defense because of course they do. So it'd be kind of interesting. They seem just so built on versatility that a guy like Burke just it doesn't fit your MO when you think of the
yeah.
Brewers, to me at least. And it's kind of similar with Fisher, except they're going to give him a shot at third. And it's not, yeah, they're going to try Burke in right field, maybe left. We'll see about that. I think Tony Vitello loves to do the same thing. And if he could have put Blake Burke in right field, I think he would have, but he couldn't. So I really don't know what happens with Burke. I figure he'll start next season at Double A, maybe even Triple A if he really impresses. If he forces his way onto the roster, great for him. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to ever talk about trade candidates with prospects,
I
but
was gonna say it could just be
Yeah.
trade.
yeah, I mean,
I
like
don't want to say
prospects
trade
never
bait.
feel like they're on the hot seat or like the trade market. But I mean, this
Hoskins is a DH, and same with Andrew Vaughn. So they kind of would have a big gap. Or sorry, Jake Bowers is their other first base. He's a free agent. Andrew Vaughn
hmm.
is still has arbitration. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Vaughn got a
could
couple
be
of years.
interesting.
Vaughn is cooled off. I'd have to see what the numbers are.
Yeah.
It was very hot when he got there. It's fun to dunk on White Sox and White Sox fans, but now it's kind of back to reality. So we'll see. I mean, there's no reason if he's hitting, they can't let him go DH or play first base. I mean, I'm the thought of Andrew Fisher and Blake Burkin back to back in 1 or 2 years. It gets me a little
Yeah,
excited.
Dang.
they also
And they'll
could
probably
just
move up together.
run away
Once
with it.
Burke goes to AAA, I bet Fisher goes to AA. Burke gets to the majors, Fisher's going to AAA. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
it
cool.
could
Just
just be.
seeing kind of these Vol connections intertwine. I mean, we know there's a lot of Vols on the Rockies right now, but they all kind of play together. So it's not as
Yeah.
cool to me where you got Burke and Fisher on the same squad.
It is exciting to see though.
Yeah. Someone want to talk some Billy Amick for us? The stroke.
Yeah, Billy. Yeah, what is that?
That was his little celly.
Oh yeah. His walk up song. Hella fan engagement. That was always fun to do.
That was fun.
He's been good though. He's been good. Played 59 games, getting on base at a very nice clip, but also just hitting the ball well. 150 WRC plus. Like he's been good. He's in high A, so maybe potentially see him moving up pretty soon. But yeah, just really good hitting stats so far this year. So good to see him kind of finding a stroke there, pun intended.
I get
No,
it.
no pun
I,
intended.
I want to preface, he's been hurt a lot this year. I don't know if you got,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the transactions. He went on the 7-day IL four separate times this season. So that's why, only 59 games. He had a left oblique injury in May. The others don't seem to say, but I assume it's more of the same. Maybe the oblique was aggravating him. That's sorry, pretty impressive the numbers he had, considering he had a nagging injury all year. I mean, a 150 WRC plus, 417 on base percentage. I mean, you'd love to see him get healthy, tap into a little more power, but I mean, pretty good at it, Billy. Probably maybe starts next season at Double A. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe a cup of coffee in High A just to prove it you can do it again.
Yeah, true.
I I was gonna say the injuries definitely maybe are limiting his home run
But
potential. He was always a pretty good doubles hitter just because his exit velos were high and he hits the ball so hard. So if it gets past somebody, but maybe he benefited a little bit from both Clemson and Tennessee having the smaller ballparks of couple cheapies. 23 home runs is kind of a large number, and then go to 4 and 4. But if his injuries were the oblique's a tough one just to like create torque and move the hips to create power. So 4 home runs, but in 59 games, that kind of shakes up to one every 12. If it gets more to one every 8, maybe a little bit better. So maybe he gets to 20 minor league home runs. But I don't know. That makes sense though, Paul, with the injuries of I was like 4 home runs seems just
that's not the Billy
not a
we know.
lot. No.
I mean, he's still hitting the doubles though. 15 doubles,
Yeah.
still slugging
Hmm.
455. So he's still ripping the ball. It's just maybe it's a launch angle thing. I don't know if someone just said that, but could be a
Hmm.
launch angle.
And then, they'll do some tweaks with him. I believe he's only 22. I mean, he's got plenty of time. Look great. It's great to see him seeing the ball. I know he had the Keelan effect where he was so good that first half of 2024. I thought he was going top 15 in the draft. And then he just kind of gets hurt, misses a couple series, and he's never really the same when he comes back. Was super clutch at Omaha, but not really the star he was for a while. It's kind of more and Burke took over from there. So I'm excited for it. I really like Billy. I think, it's probably 2 years or so until we see him in the bigs. I mean, that's a weak twin squad right now. They've got Royce Lewis right now at third, but he's a free agent, I think, in the next 2 or 3 years. So who knows? Maybe the Strokes coming to Minneapolis. We'll see. But I'll talk a little Dylan Dreiling for us in high A right now with the Texas Rangers, playing 110 games, 107 WRC plus, roughly about average. I mean, like you were saying, people comp SEC play to like double A lot. I think it's more like high A. I think it's somewhere between low and high A. So you kind of want to see more out of Dreiling if you consider that it's kind of an even-ish level. I mean, he was good, not great. 319 on base percentage, really not that great. He's had some pretty good power, inflated the numbers, but just seems like he's not taking his walks as much as he should have. I mean, I don't think he was ever really known for that. He's just kind of a guy that hit. And he's hitting so far. I mean, no complaints, but he's gonna have to make the move up eventually, and you kind of want to see more. Going to double A, it's gonna be an adjustment. Pitchers only get better, so we'll see. I think Dryling's a guy he could end up being a platoon bat for the Rangers one day. I don't know if he's ever a full-time starter, but I'm interested to see. I mean, the power is legit.
Yeah, he went
And
on a little
even
bit of
just
a stretch there with some bombs. I think.
yeah,
I think.
he got hot.
Yeah.
Something that he didn't do at Tennessee, but just peeking at the baseball reference page is he's starting to steal a little bit more. So maybe that's something telling coaches telling him, hey, like lean into this. 15 out of 20 in the stolen base department. So he's trying to run a little bit. obviously making the most of getting on base. But the slug is good to see. If he could get like a 2020 season under his belt, like you said, Paul, he's got to show some sort of improvement because he'd be starting his third season in a row at high A next year, and they need to see something.
Yeah, and he's run into some bad luck. 267 BABIP. It's pretty low in 2024 as well. That was only 21 games, but I ran a 242 BABIP. And that's not entirely luck. There is some batted ball stuff there. You know, if you hit a lot of balls into the ground, you're going to kind of naturally have a lower BABIP. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's about time to give him a shot at Double A. It doesn't seem like they're eager to move him up, which isn't great, but we'll see. It's a big wait and see on Dreiling. I think the potential's there, and we've seen him hit. We know he can hit, so just gotta kind of take a step. So one more step.
Switching over to maybe a pitcher from that World Series team, Drew Beam has kind of been exactly as advertised in terms of numbers. They drafted this guy based on kind of middle to back end of the rotation, high floor is what everybody kept saying. When you get SEC starts as a freshman and just are consistent, Tony Vitello said like we feel very confident handing him the ball. That's exactly what you're getting. Drew Beam still only 22 as well. Um, is going to be a starter. His stuff just profiles the best as a starter. And 3.83 in high A in 26 starts. So he was very efficient in terms of staying healthy and being out there. The stuff itself wasn't crazy, but I mean, he's like I said, he's doing what he's kind of advertised to do. Hopefully, there's something that they can pick out to build on and improve on for next year. But as a his first minor league season, his first experience in pro ball, I think they're happy with it and they're gonna find some things to work on and improve even more. But I think it was a solid season.
Yeah, I mean, I for sure would be. I think, like you said, first season, first professional season. I think that's a very solid block to build on. I mean, going out there every however many days it was with the, whatever staff they had, but going out there every time he gets the ball and seemingly pitching pretty well with a 3.83 ERA over 131 and two-thirds innings. So, like you said, the consistency is key. I mean, there's not maybe he's not going to be a Cy Young winner, but I mean, I would take that stat line for my
Definitely.
staff just about any time. So
Yeah. I mean, the results were there. This kind of just who Drew Beam is. It's not huge strikeout stuff. He had a 7.52 Ks per nine at high A, but the performance was there 3.35 FIP, 3.83 ERA. Just kind of a workhorse. I mean, I want to comp him to like Jake Irvin, even though they're probably not that similar at all. Just like a real like four starter, five starter, just kind of an innings eater. He's real durable. He's gonna get outs. Maybe not like a 2025 Jake Irvin. No one wants to be 2025 Jake
Mm.
Irvin. But like 2023, 2024, or like there are any innings eater you want out there. And I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that's Drew Beam. I
And he
think.
doesn't really walk guys. That's never really been his thing. His
Mhm.
walk rate actually like got better with more innings, which I thought was really cool. And good to see the home runs go back down to 8 home runs over 131 innings. Last year, the home run ball just bit him really bad. It felt gave some big home runs. Not saying he was bad by any means, but at
Mhm.
Tennessee, 15 home runs in 102 innings. So essentially cuts that in half with almost 30 more innings. Good to see that too. Keep the ball in the ballpark, especially as an innings eater. You give up a little weak contact here and there. The last thing you want to do is let one get over the fence. So
Yeah, and it's tough when
overall,
when Lindsey Nelson Stadium's your home park. You're
yeah,
gonna give him some bombs, some cheapies that you're gonna be really mad about him in the dugout. But I mean, that's a guy we're probably gonna see start the season at Double A, maybe
yeah.
a little
yeah,
more in A ball. I mean, it could be end of next year. It could be end of next year. It could be 2027 if there is a season that we're going to see Drew Beam in the majors. And I'm excited. I think, he'll be good for the brand. He'll be eating innings for 15 years. We'll say that's our guy. That's our guy.
we love that. I can switch it over to Kavara's tiers. He also got his first action professionally this year. Kind of, I mean, nothing too pretty as far as the slash line goes, but I mean, 13 home runs, 22 doubles, 65 RBIs. So I mean, he was producing some runs, which was cool to see. He was it seems like he was in the middle of a lot of action, but a lot more strikeouts than walks. 138 strikeouts to 58 walks. So that's definitely a bit of an issue being at low A. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's kind of just a theme here, but these young guys are taking some time to adjust. Like obviously there seems to be like power there, a little bit of clutch factor with those RBI numbers. But I mean, strikeouts, 138 strikeouts is a tough number. So definitely, it's probably going to be working on that um, throughout the throughout his year. I mean, he was DHing most of the time, playing a little bit of right field. They also had him at first base for a few innings. So that's interesting to see. They're trying to get him, kind of find a way for him to fit in the lineup wherever he can, kind of thing. But that might also just be because Padres kind of have different holes to fill than what he's like accustomed to, I guess. So we'll see. I think he can make an adjustment though. I've been a fan of Tears, so I kind of just believe in him being able to make that adjustment.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Tiers, kind of in a similar way I am to Dreiling. 107 games, 95 WRC plus. The strikeouts are the biggest thing. I mean, a 29% K rate in A ball. I mean, that's really tough. He's never a guy that was just ridiculous with the strikeouts at Tennessee. I'd have to check the exact numbers, but I mean, really just kind of, I mean, it's hard to go make a jump to high A, double A if you're 23 years old, striking out 30% of the time. Yeah, Cade 25% of the time, sophomore year at Tennessee. So, I mean, it really kind of goes to show how I don't know if the SEC compares to like three different minor league levels. I mean, it really just
Yeah.
depends. Some guys just don't adjust the same way. I mean, he's striking out more at a lower level than, SEC play. The numbers aren't great. Showing a little bit of pop. He's got 13 homers in 107 games. It's just he's got to get on base more. He doesn't draw walks at a bad rate, but he's going to need to walk more if he's going to not improve the strikeout rate. I mean, next year's huge for him. He'll be 24 years old, I believe. Double check on that. Okay, he just turned 23, but so he'll be
Yeah.
23 most of the year, which is still pretty old for low A. And I mean, got to get the K rate under probably 25%. Show me maybe even more power. I mean, if you're going to strike out that much, you have to make up for it with the power. And he hasn't been
Mhm.
bad. He's shown good power numbers, but either that's got to improve or the strikeout numbers have to get better.
And if it does improve, who's to say that AJ Preller doesn't trade him? So he moves everybody.
Who knows?
It's
Maybe
his.
someone else will fix him. You never know. It's just a new opportunity for all these guys.
Jumping down the board, though, a guy that I don't know about you guys, but I did not think that he would be having this much success. AJ Cowsey, very interesting profile. Obviously, again, the 1 year at Tennessee transfer. These guys transferring in and then getting into great positions to be able to be drafted and go make that draft money is crazy. But AJ Cowsey, a guy that I thought maybe a team, depending on the fit, would try to use him as a starter, but no starts in pro ball for the Royals between high A and double A, 73 in the third inning, a 172 ERA, pretty much as a closer, late inning, short inning reliever. Something I know, so 18 walks to 75 strikeouts, was never going to be a huge strikeout guy, but a little over a K an inning. Zero home runs allowed. I think that that's fascinating. No home runs in 73 innings. Um, he's got the funky arm angle, and I mean that's great if hitters are getting that deceived by his motion. But the numbers seem good. He seems to be doing well. Another guy, he's 22. But if they're going to keep moving him up and trust him to relievers will move fast if you're getting guys out. So and the no home runs again is a crazy thing for me. He's getting save opportunities, 9 saves it says. I'm not sure exactly out of how many, but yeah, no home runs, low walks, good strikeout rate, giving up some hits still, about a hit every other inning, it almost looks like, but uh, a whip under one. I mean, I don't know. I'm high. Stock's high right now on AJ Cowsey. Let's go.
He does. He just looks damn good. And the no homers. It's hard. They can't.
It's crazy.
He
That's
can't keep
wild.
not giving up homers.
No,
I'd love for him
exactly.
to.
But
But I mean, over that many innings to not give up any, at minimum shows you have an ability to avoid them. So you can always we're going to be able to count on him giving up homers at a lower rate than most. Some have to get over the wall eventually, but I mean, just great stuff. The peripherals kind of back it up, striking out over a batter an inning, 2.28 FIP. I mean, good for him. I mean, again, probably a next year kind of guy if he keeps it up. I don't see why not. I
in the
mean,
Royals system too, like they're hurting
yeah,
for
it's not
guys to
like they
get guys
don't.
out.
It's not the 2015 Royals anymore. I mean, there's not like five aces in the back of the pen. I mean, they can find room for him. Even work him in, get him some sixth inning work, seventh inning work, build him up. I don't know if it's closer stuff, but I don't see why not. I mean, if he keeps pitching like this.
I'm gonna try to find his game logs. I'd be interesting to see if he was used primarily as like one inning guy or if they were trying to multi inning. Let's see. He
Mhm.
48 games for 73 innings. So probably 1 to 2 mixed in a couple of longer ones maybe. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I got it right here. Let's see. Uh, a mix of 1 and 2 innings.
Okay.
A mix of both. Yeah, no starts, always out of the pen. 1 innings, a couple twos, a two and a third. Never really over two and a third. Like they're not stretching them out too much. It's pretty much a pure bullpen on for them. I mean, I'm
But
excited.
if he can bounce back, that's
Yeah,
good.
and I mean, overall, it's hard to beat that. 11-5 record too. That's a
Hmm.
starter's record right there as a reliever.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
keeping his team in the game. That's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah, he's a winner. He's a win. That's what the Vols they made. No. Speaking of another winner, can we get some Aaron Combs talk from one of you?
I don't know. I don't know if he is a winner though.
Well, he
For
was.
all looking at those, yes, he won at Tennessee. He was a winner, but in low A, I don't. Those do not look good. The home run to fly ball rate maybe is inflating that a lot, but
Mhm. Yeah, relievers are kind of fickle. I mean, you give up one home run and it ruins your ERA for 10 outings. I
yeah,
I don't think they're giving him a shot as a starter. I'll have to check. That'd be interesting. He's with the Phillies now. I know he's drafted by the White
Yeah,
Sox. He got traded for might have just been cash. I mean, it really wasn't anything big.
yeah.
Okay,
nine of his
nine
10 games
starts.
are starts. So
Yeah, they're letting him start 9 starts. I'll be interested to see maybe if they kind of swap to the bullpen at the end. No, I mean his last outing was on September 3rd. He'd been out for about 3 months, some kind of injury, I guess. And then that was just a 1 inning in relief. So that'd be kind of interesting. If I assume he'll go bullpen from here on out. I mean, he was really just not that good as a starter for the Phillies. 6.21 ERA, 5.71 FIP. Strikeout numbers weren't bad, almost 10 per 9 innings. But I mean, just getting hit hard. 19.4 home run to fly ball is way too high. The average is like 10 and a half. So almost double. So that'll come down. Just kind of naturally, that's going to come down. I'll have to take a look at the BABIP. I'm sure it's also ridiculous. 359. Yeah. So, I mean,
Hmm.
kind of a bounce back candidate, probably out of the bullpen. I mean, the stuff looked pretty good if you want to just look at the strikeouts.
Yeah.
But other than that, results not great. New organization for him. Maybe they saw something,
new
they want to
position
tinker with
too.
something, but I don't think it'll be as a starter. And that's kind of what we
I
expected.
think
I don't think we ever were
yeah,
counting on Aaron Combs pitching, starting playoff games one day. So, you know, see what we can get out of him out of the pen.
yeah. Mhm. Well, I can talk about Cal Stark really quick. Obviously, I don't I have like mixed emotions on him as a volunteer because he wasn't very consistent, but it seems like he always showed up in the clutch. Like whenever we needed a big hit, big home run, he seemed to have it, especially as they got into that playoff run in 2024. He seemed to be right in the middle of the action all the time. But I mean, kind of struggling in his second season now and first like full season really in minor league baseball. Just not unable to really find it. So I mean, hitting 180 OPS 516, struggling a little bit, striking out a lot, 39.6% K rate. So that's just not going to fly. So I mean, he was a undrafted free agent signing, so he's definitely more of a project. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him because I mean, I think he's a gamer, and it's just a matter of like him kind of finding it and making the adjustments. So we'll see. I don't know, kind of maybe a little bit. I don't know, just
Yeah.
struggling. We'll see. 60 WRC plus, so
More of a
struggling at the
clubhouse
position.
guy at this point. You
Yeah,
know, I'm not really
I
counting on
also
Cal
saw
Start
he
being
was
a big league catcher one
playing
day.
some
That'd be awesome. But
play. He was playing. I saw he was playing some like outfield and stuff too. So maybe he was
really,
just like
whatever you can do to
learning
keep
other
it
stuff,
going,
and it
stay
just
alive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. One other
So
catcher I want to shout out before we move on. We kind of forgot Cannon Peebles with the Guardians. He got in 8 games, 112 WRC plus, striking out 28% of the time. BABIP was 400, so I wouldn't count on that continuing. But gotta shout him out. Was an undrafted free
Shout
agent.
out.
Actually, he was a 17th rounder. I was
Yeah.
wrong.
yeah,
Well,
I
late
mean,
round
kind of same.
guy again, like Cal. Not count on anything. Just it'd be awesome to see him break out. Kind of felt like we were counting on something that never came when he was a Vol. 149 WRC plus as a freshman at NC State. Then we get him and he's just bad. 72 WRC plus sophomore year, 80 junior year. I mean, if
I
they
think
found
he
something
was.
great,
I
but
think he had a little bit of unlucky at bats too. A lot of hard hits
mhm. He did
that I
run. He ran a
remember.
pretty low BABIP both years, which he ran a pretty
Yeah,
high one at NC State. Maybe that played a factor, but I mean, 270 BABIP is unfair. So it's nice to see the luck bouncing in his favor again. That's good to see.
Mhm.
So we've covered the last two drafts, all the Vols. Let's get to some of the other guys, kind of the miscellaneous. We'll start with Drew Gilbert, who's an absolute psychopath. We knew he was an absolute psychopath. That's nothing new. But it's just fun to see everyone else kind of get to learn that.
react to it.
See Pat McAfee be like, oh my, this guy's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, yeah, you have no idea. And he's been all right for the Giants, not great. Came over in the Trevor Rogers trade at the or Tyler, yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Tyler
Tyler
Rogers.
Rogers trade at the trade deadline. Came over with Blake Tidwell and another prospect. It's been all right in the majors for them. 74 WRC plus, 244 on base. Not great. Needs to find some more holes. Needs to start taking some more walks. More of a clubhouse guy, and this
I
is
was
pretty
gonna
cool to
say
see. I mean, he's not going to get demoted as long as they all love the guy. But if
yeah,
you're going to
he
be in that
sparked
role,
that Giants team for a bit.
is what
Yeah.
He sparked that Giants team
he did.
for
It looked
a
like for
week.
a minute. It looked like for a minute he did it. I think I don't want to call him a cheerleader, but if that's going to be his role, the bat's got to get a little better, like a 90 WRC plus, especially if he's more of a corner outfield guy. I mean, like
Mhm.
he can probably play some center. They haven't really used him out there. He's kind of a right field, left field. Kind of a weird profile. I know Mets fans were real unhappy about losing him, but I don't think you know, we'll see who Drew Gilbert ends up being. I think he's a really fun player. I think he's awesome, but
Yeah,
I'd probably, I see like
Fourth
a league
outfielder.
average future, kind of not high. That's not the ceiling, but like I think that's kind of the medium outcome, and that'd be nice. And I'd love for him to go have like a 150 WRC plus next year, and this clip goes everywhere, and they all call me idiots. That'd be nice, and they'll cut this part out. But no, I mean, we'll see. There's work to do. A lot of other Vols in the NL West for him to compete with.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of Rockies. I'd mentioned
Specifically
Jordan Beck
Rockies,
earlier.
actually, yes.
Yeah, I mentioned Jordan Beck earlier. Started off really hot. They were kind of using him as a leadoff guy that's not never really been his profile, but doesn't really walk enough, swings and misses a little bit, but has I would say a good hit tool. And if the power's behind it, maybe a little bit inflated at Coors, but was going to hit some home runs, going to hit some doubles. Looks like he's been about league average now, kind of leveled out, but. I think there's still more left in the tank. He's just in a really, really bad lineup, and he was kind of people were saying, oh, the kind of one all-star for the team was either going to be Jordan Beck or Hunter Goodman, obviously the catcher that has been hitting the four hole the whole time, and Hunter Goodman had a good year too, but I was kind of hoping it'd be Jordan Beck. But I think he still has more to prove. Obviously, his first full season, you could say, in Major League Baseball was, I think he was even optioned earlier in the year and then maybe came back, but
Mm.
I think there's more left in the tank for him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I've kind of been higher on Jordan Beck. I mean, obviously this season is a huge step in the right direction, especially from his last stint in the majors last year. Um, I mean, yeah, the like you said, the power numbers could be a little bit inflated. The strikeout numbers are a little scary, 163 strikeouts. So, I mean, that's especially, I don't know. I don't really know if playing at Coors Fields makes difference, but I think in my head, I just kind of assumed that like if the ball's not breaking as much, then you would think that they can at least put the ball in play more often and strike out less. So that might be a little bit nerve wracking, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I I think he's definitely shown some flashes on both sides of the ball too of just being able to play good, strong baseball. So we'll see.
Force
We'll see
definitely
where.
comes into play, like you were mentioning. The balls just kind of move different. I forget if they break more or less. I want to say more at cores.
Oh, it's more. Okay.
And it's, yeah, I mean, it's not even the part having to play there, make it easier or harder. It's the fact that you have to go play your other 81 games somewhere completely normal, where the ball
Right. Right.
moves as it should. That's hard for a lot of guys. You see a lot of guys leave the Rockies and get better offensively. Like, how does that happen? It's because they can adjust and the ball's not like curveballs don't look different every series. Like they can kind of get a routine going. We'll see one day if that ends up happening with Beck if he leaves and he can kind of just find his footing, strike out a little less, just because the ball is not teleporting when he's playing at home,
Hmm.
and then looks completely normal when he's at Dodger Stadium. But overall, not a bad year. I mean,
Yeah, I will say his home and away splits are pretty heavy favoring home.
yeah, and I
So
figured. So, and that's kind of one of those. The Rockies guys are always going to be better at home. But you might find when they leave, just kind of things start to even out, at least on the strikeout side. The power side, it's kind of bound to decrease. Ryan McMahon, I'd have to look at the numbers. I don't think he's been great. Some guys, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but like a DJ LeMahieu type, like he worked out just fine for those couple years where he was really nice after he left. We'll see. I mean, not a lot of competitive baseball is played in Colorado, so it's kind of just go out there and have some fun for a while, couple years. Maybe they'll trade him, maybe they won't.
He's been really good defensively, though. The thing I'm looking at says he
Hmm.
leads the National League in outfield assists with 11. So him playing in left field probably every day helps a little bit. Kind of interesting that in college he was a primary right fielder. Changes a little bit, not a whole lot, but kind of
Hmm.
interesting that how good defensively he's been. At least throwing. We knew he always had a big arm, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm looking at the baseball savant. It's mainly the arm. -2 outs above average isn't terrible. It was below average, not ridiculous. But yeah, 78th percentile arm value, 68th percentile in strength. Pretty fast. 84th percentile speed, sprint speed. I'd have to look how many bases he's taken. He's not squaring up the ball quite as much as you'd think. 15th percentile average exit velocity. He barrels the ball a little more, which kind of means he's hitting the ball hard and at a good launch angle. A lot of strikeouts. Nothing. This is Jordan Beck. We're not surprised,
yeah.
but you know, like to see another jump. Year three, just get to like a 110 WRC plus. Get really just to where you're firmly just a very good ball player, and then be a Colorado fan favorite for a couple years, then see what happens with your career. He got to do his
like
time.
the
It's
team.
like working a blue collar job. He's just got to do his time. Maybe he'll move up one day. No. Another Rocky who had a well worse year, Chase Dolander. You know, Came in pretty hot last season. He was a big time mover last year. Had like
Yeah.
a 2.5 ERA overall across all levels. Gets the call early this season. and it was just rough. I mean, 98 innings, a 6.52 ERA, striking out about 7.5 batters per 9 innings, which you really want to see more out of him. You know he's got more in there. Struggled with the walks, 4.5 walks per 9 innings. Really just kind of nothing went right. And they hardly do for young Rockies pitchers, you know. We didn't I don't I might have expected like a 4.5 ERA, even a five, you know, that's just kind of how it goes. But I mean, this was even worse than maybe you could have thought. And he flashed a couple times. I remember he had a real good, I want to say seven scoreless start against the Braves back in May or so. I mean, that's really what you want to see. You want to see strikeout stuff and you want to see flashes. And you saw a little bit of both, not quite as much in the strikeout department. Be kind of interesting just how he adapts, you know, going into year two with the Rockies. Maybe let him go to AAA and figure it out just for a little bit. Just gain some confidence. I mean, it's hard pitching. It's hard pitching, you know, 16 games a year at Coors Field, especially when the whole division is so much better than you. I mean, you got to face the Dodgers like three times, the Padres. I mean, he's got to face the gauntlet, and he didn't win this round, but I mean, we know who Chase Dollander is. I think, you know, I expect big time improvement next year. We'd hope at
I
least.
honestly, like he had a 3.46 ERA in away games. He pitched like
Mhm.
four more innings and one less start during away games. So it's really just a factor of him pitching at Coors. And I mean,
Mhm.
like you said, probably having to pitch against lineups like the Dodgers and the Padres multiple times doesn't help, but way, way, way better on the road. So I don't know. Maybe he moves somewhere and he fringes all star potentially if he can if that 3.46 ERA is consistent over an entire season. But I honestly thought it was a good season with flashes of really bad that just kind of like blew his numbers out of the water.
Mhm.
Um, which is just kind of unlucky because like pitching that course is just so hard. And you know,
Mhm.
I at this point now, I just hope that teams and GMs see that split and are willing to go take that chance that it's just a course thing.
Mhm. And I think they will. And that's, you know, a couple of years from now, we talk about him leaving the Rockies probably. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not really in a position to move young pitchers. But yeah, I mean, teams are smarter than ever. You know, they're going to see the road away splits or road and home splits. You kind of just assume, I feel like with any pitcher, Rockies pitcher, you know, don't look at the ERA alone. So, you know, just got to figure out cores, I guess. Always kind of had a home run bug, it felt like. Just got to kind of learn to control that. I mean, it's hard. I mean, if it was something you could teach how to stop giving up homers at cores, we'd have figured it out, I think. So, no, I'm excited for him. We know the stuff's there. I mean, we know the strikeout stuff can be better. The walk rate can be better. You know, a lot to build on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm high on him, most
Peeking
definitely.
over to
But
his teammate, we'll touch on it quickly. Seth Halverson, another big fastball guy. Kind of a tale of two halves. Was really good in the first half of the season, and then kind of started to get hit around a little bit more. As Paul has pointed out, like relievers at one outing can mess up everything. He looks like he had a couple blow up outings. Still, like, was used primarily kind of as a back end guy. 42 games, 39 innings. Had 11 saves this season. 4.99 ERA, looks ballooned, but I want to say the strikeouts were good. I don't know. I don't know necessarily what to put on it other than he just got hit around a little bit. 36 strikeouts in 39 innings, so you'd like to see better there. Also gave up 7 home runs. I
We
don't
know he
know.
can be
He's
better
kind of
than he
a
was. I mean, we were
yeah,
talking about, you know, him or Beck making a All-Star run, you know, who are they going
yeah.
to pick? Is Goodman going to take it? And then, yeah, I didn't expect the ERA to end up at five. And I don't think the FIP was much better. I would have put it on here if it was.
Hmm.
You know, interesting guy. Again, I really hate to keep dunking on the Rockies, but like,
They're
we don't
something.
know who he is until he's a Ray in 4 years. And you're like, oh, yeah, he's ridiculous. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So, really a tale of two halves. I believe he's injured. I mean, only 39 innings. I know his,
Yeah, he did not pitch much
yeah,
in the second half.
had a
But
mild
I don't know
right
if he's
flexor strain in his elbow in early August. Hasn't pitched since. Really no reason to make him pitch again. We'll
yeah.
see where the he's hoping to return by the end of 2025. Still hasn't. You know,
Probably just wait until spring training.
yeah, I no reason to push it. To go get win number 44, but
Yikes.
uh,
Is that what they're at?
They're
they're at
very
42. I
low.
think they're
They
not even.
cannot
Not
they
even.
cannot get to 50 wins. So they'll be like the
Jeez.
sixth team ever to not get
They
50
can't
wins.
break the loss record though, so good for them.
Yeah. White
I was
Sox
there
already.
when they turned their season around, kind of, at Nationals Park in the middle of 11 straight losses. That was something, dude. Yeah, but no, I
No,
mean,
I
all
just
the
wanted to
Rockies
touch on
guys,
him.
it sucks for all the Rockies guys. We have to kind of just preface like he might be good, he might not be. It's not
We
really
don't
our,
know.
yeah,
It's
it's not
literally
their fault. It's
impossible to
not our
tell.
fault. But no, but he can be better. We saw the first half. Hoping he comes back all ready to go next season. He'll have all off season to get ready, get going. Close some more games out for the Rockies. 10, all any wins that they can get to. But let's talk another NL West Vol. We got Blade Tidwell, also in the Tyler Rogers trade. It's the San Francisco. Hasn't really made any big league appearances for them. They kept it in the pen. Had just 15 innings in the MLB, all with the Mets this season. Didn't go great. 9 ERA. Probably wasn't ready. I think Phil was there a lot of injuries around this time, Phil? Is it kind of a they just needed
I
us?
mean, injury, yeah, there like that was when like Senga and
Mhm.
Mania were still down, I think right around the time McGill went down, so it was just kind of like clawing for someone to eat some innings.
Someone had to pitch. It was Tidwell. It didn't go great. Walking too many guys in the big, 6 walks per 9. Only 15 innings. Can't really draw many conclusions. What we can look at is the minor league numbers, and they look pretty good. 3.62 ERA in the minors this year, almost exclusively AAA. Over 10 strikeouts per 9. I mean, that's all the stuff you'd want to see. He wasn't quite ready. I assume the Giants will give him a shot next year. I don't think, every team's 5 starter is pretty flexible for the most part, so I don't see why he can't be competing for that. You know.
Yeah, he was pretty good for the Giants. He
Mm,
4 appearances this year with their AAA team, 3 starts, 1.5 ERA. So just kind of made a
mm.
really good first impression with them. So yeah, I don't see why you can't try to make a run at that either. We'll see.
Yeah. And then we got another giant. We got a little Maui Ahuna, who I kind of forgot
Paul
about.
might have
I was
forgot it.
making,
I was gonna say Paul might have forgotten about him.
I don't really sit back and reminisce about the Maui Ahuna Tennessee Volunteer days, if we're keeping it
That's
real. But 63 games at high A, 124 WRC plus. I mean, pretty good numbers, all things, counted for. 27% K rate. Want to see that go down. I mean, it's not Kavaris tiers level bad where it's low A and 29%, but still a little concerning. I mean, I don't think I don't know where the line is. Like I don't know where I draw the line. It really kind of depends how much guys walk to. Ahuna isn't walking that much. I mean, I feel like you want to see him get to that to like 20%. I mean, we'll see. I mean, overall, all pretty good performance. He was always pretty good defensively, I felt like.
Hmm.
I'm sure he's playing shortstop for the Giants or the San Jose Giants, whoever it is. But
Yes,
he's
primarily
kind of under the
shortstop.
radar guy. No one's really talking about him. No volunteer pages or like man, like and repost if you miss Maui Ahuna. But kind of a weird time at Tennessee, but good for him. Good performance so far. Should get a chance at Double A next year. That's kind of where you figure it. Like Double A is really where we kind of figure it out with these guys. Kind of like really where like Double A is really where pitching starts to get legit in the minor leagues.
Hmm.
It's a lot of high upside guys that probably can't throw strikes, in the low A, high low levels.
It's interesting to see how much he improved. Like he got better as he got moved up as well as far as his
Mhm.
batting numbers. So that's interesting to see, but good for him.
Yeah, I assume a lot of these guys got struck by the injuries, injury bug. It seems like only played 63 games or so. Had a couple. Yeah, it looks like he had four IL trips, just like Amick.
Mm,
Had one in
yeah.
April, one in May, one in August, one 2 days ago. Doesn't say what it's for. Probably something I can dig and find, but oh, he got Tommy John surgery. Was that last year?
Mm.
Yeah, you see, no one told me
That might
Maui Ahuna got Tommy John surgery. If Simo got Tommy John, we'd have all heard by now. But no, so yes, kind of came back later in the year, recovering from that. That's interesting. I think the only time I know Corey Seager got Tommy John once, and his problem
Hmm.
was that he would just always he'd throw from the side from shortstop, and he just put so much strain on his arm. I wonder if it's something like that with Ahuna, like just really kind of poor mechanics, putting a lot of stress on his arm. No, but excited to see a full healthy season from him next year. Get to Double A, start at High A probably. We'll see.
I mean, they've got some holes to fill in their roster too, so
Yeah. Yeah, we just
that
got a
would be
couple more. We'll just hammer them. Yeah, Andrew Lindsay with the Rays was drafted by the Marlins, got traded for probably cash. You know, not a big league piece. Wasn't moved for a big league piece, but 23 innings, didn't pitch too much. 6.65 ERA, 3.79 FIP's a lot better. You like to see that. Just walking a lot of guys. 4.3 walks per nine. He's kind of on the doorstep, but you know, he's pretty far. Like what AAA. If Triple A's the doorstep, like he just got there. Like he's pretty far from the door. He's last in line. He's got some stuff to
Mhm.
work on. You know, again, kind of like a Drew Beam type, maybe Drew Beam light. He'll be an innings eater one day. Kind of doesn't fit the Rays mold. That's kind of, I mean, they fancy in a couple innings eater guys, kind of like a Zach Little, a Zach Eflin. Like they'll give those guys chances, but we'll see. I think if he could really if he could pop off to start next season, totally makes sense he'll make a spot start or not. They have so many injuries every year just because they have so many guys throwing hard. So I think we could see Andrew Lindsay next year. Another guy who, I'm not always thinking about Andrew Lindsay's time in Tennessee, but he was pretty good. He was underrated, and now he's got a chance to be a big leaguer. One of the first big leaguer from the 2022 class,
Yeah,
or 2023 or 2023, I believe.
I think so.
23.
Yeah, I mean, from that class, it's him, Ahuna, Dickey, and Dollander. I mean, Dollander beat them all, but that was kind of expected. So good for him. They'll
But
get Jared Dickey. He wants to talk. I love some Jared Dickey. He wants to
I
talk
was gonna
to.
say, speaking of Jared Dickey, he's our last one here to cover. Kind of a interesting season though. High A and then Double A. Finished with Double A. He's with Oakland now. Was drafted by the Royals, but some pretty good hitting stats, and that was always going to be his calling card. Kind of a weird athlete, runner. Didn't really know what position. Ideally, now he's in the outfield, but the bat was always good, good contact skills, and that shows. His strikeout to walks are pretty insane. You love to see that over both levels this year, 74 walks to 72 strikeouts. Uh, very solid. Like
Mhm.
top of the order, maybe, but at the very least, like seven hole, can move runners, get on base a little bit. I don't think he's ever going to be a huge slug guy. Again, I know he had a 12 homer season in for Tennessee, had 10 homers last year, ended up finishing with only six in 121 games this year, but it's going to hit some doubles. And if he doesn't strike out, that's valuable. You can kind of teach the power as it goes, but having that good discipline and not swinging and missing early in your professional career is definitely a positive.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He's
he
been slow
reminds
for
me of. He's a different archetype than Dreiling and Tiers, but he's kind of like the trajectory I kind of want to see out of those guys. In his third year, hits Double A. Above average, good on base skills. Again, the power not really ever going to come. 381 slugging, but he walks more than he strikes out. I mean, he's just finding holes. That's kind of where I want to see Tiers and Dreiling get to in the next year or two. Is just get to like Double A, prove you can hit there. You know, you're going to have to really fight for a roster spot when you're kind of like a platoon outfielder. But I mean, they got to follow the Jared Dickey archetype, who even he has
Hmm.
another jump to make, I'd say, or we hope. But he's an interesting one. And then before we end, I got to shout out Garrett Crochet. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty without say that Garrett Crochet is really good at baseball. But just in case anyone forgot, 197.1 innings, 2.69 ERA, over 11 strikeouts per nine. Probably going to fall short in the Cy Young race, probably second or third. But I mean, we're about 10 days out or so from him pitching a playoff game if the Red Sox don't choke it. Shout out Brendan Coffin and
Shout out
Michael
Brain
Slade.
Coffin.
But,
I'm
you
not
know,
going to shout him out. I'm in the same boat, but it's okay.
I'm not going to tell them we shouted them out. They're going to have to watch. But, you know, I'm excited. I wonder if they'll go. A couple teams seem to do this. They kind of save the ace for game two. I think that's interesting. Save them for game two, even three. I mean, just see if you can kind of pump them to the next round. Like if you can really beat those guys. I think a lot of teams, this probably sounds better in theory. And then you get in a best of three series and you're like, screw that, get them out there. So we'll see. It's looking like it's going to be with the Yankees, maybe the Astros. Trying to think where in the or I think Mariners are more likely because they're going to win the West. So I'm excited. I'm excited for him. First playoff? No, he might have got on it with the White Sox in 21. I don't remember.
Yeah, with
I don't
the
remember.
COVID year.
I
I
think
don't
he did
know.
actually. But first real, White Sox playoff baseball doesn't count. That doesn't count. So excited for him.
He really silenced that talk about the innings count too, with him coming out.
Yeah,
Like,
good
Yeah,
for him. We were talking about that earlier in the year. Can he maintain this? He hasn't pitched this many innings ever. And
yeah,
he was already, when we talked about this in June, he was already pushing his innings records, I think.
yeah.
So good for him. He's going to hit a 200 innings. I mean, it's awesome to see how the arms held up. I hope it can keep going. I mean, he's got paid. Maybe, might be the highest paid volunteer ever. I don't know how much Helton ever got. Inflation's kind of nuts. So,
I was gonna say, maybe I think it might be safe to assume.
yeah, but no, good for him.
Phil, I am sorry that the Cubs are doing the Mets no favors. Just got 4 games swept by the Reds and have let them. I think they're ahead of
Mm.
the Mets now currently in the
They're
last
They're
tied,
game
but
of
the
working
it.
Reds
So
have the
tied, and the Reds
tiebreaker.
have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who do the Mets
the the,
play? Who do they have left?
the
we
Cubs.
gotta play the Cubs, and then we gotta play the Marlins.
Hmm.
It could be.
So
It could
I'm
be over.
hoping that
It
the
could.
Cubs are just in like we don't care about the regular season. We're just setting up for the postseason mode, and they'll
You
just
think
let us.
that, and then you're gonna get to Wrigley tomorrow. You go, what?
That's
Yeah,
That's literally what happened, though. The Cubs clinched and then have lost 4 in a row, playing very uninspiring baseball. We've lost to the Reds twice, 1-0, and then the other times we're tied late in the game and blew it. I think we were just hungover. Council said the boys were partying all
But
night
the boys
in
had a good time.
Cincinnati. Crazy. They
yeah.
got an
I
off
mean,
day
yeah,
tomorrow. Off day tomorrow. Hopefully they can reset, and then we're ready for 6 more.
Yeah.
to
Dodgers
be
don't
fair,
want they don't want to see the Reds in a 3 game series. No one
yeah,
wants to see anyone. Anyone can win anything in a 3 game series. Well, Hunter Green game one, he's pretty nasty.
He's nasty.
I don't know who. Maybe Abbott game two, maybe Lodolo. I know.
I think it's been better between them, but I would have. My intuition leans toward Abbott, but
Yeah, Abbott's been damn good. I don't, that's one of those where when I'm making my picks, I'm just gonna say if it was scripted, what would happen? They're not letting the Reds beat the Dodgers. It's just not
They're not
happening.
going to
But
have
it'd
it.
be
nah,
awesome. The Mets could beat the Dodgers, not because they're
that's
better at
what
all, just because
that's
they're
what that's my only gripe with, or my biggest gripe with it is like if the Mets really miss the playoffs, it's a free well, like just put the Dodgers in the division series.
no,
I
yeah,
don't think any other team is going to give the Dodgers a run for their money as far as from like the
hmm,
Diamondbacks, Giants, and Reds.
yeah. I'm liking how it's lining up. I was talking about it amongst us and our friends the other day. Cubs, Padres, Brewers on one side of the bracket. I know Nick's got a pick there or favorite. But as for me, I'm fine with any of those teams in the NLCS. I don't hate anyone. Then on the other side, you got Dodgers, Mets, and Phillies. Maybe the Reds. We'll see. So, you know,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
guaranteed one hate watch and one rooting interest in the NLCS. So, I mean, you can't script it up much better if you're me.
Yeah,
That's
true.
that's all we can ask for. But we'll save a little more of the playoff talk for next time. Be on a lookout for a live episode. Really excited about that. Getting all the boys together. A little sneak peek. We'll see. But I think that'll do it for episode 11. Thank you all for listening. little Vols talk. We like to mix it in there. That's kind of what is was inspired
What we're
about talking
built
about the
on.
Vols. That's what we're built on, the principles, right? Let's go.
The
Uh,
roots.
Shout out the Bears though. Got a win against the Cowboys just now. Kind of huge. Now we got our
Were
first
you
win this
watching the whole
season.
time?
No,
Okay. I
they
was gonna
played
say
the
I didn't
afternoon
notice if you
slate.
were, so good
No,
job.
no, no. But that's going to do it for episode 11 of the Pipeline Talk podcast. Thank you all for listening and be on the lookout for more. Go Cubbies.